Shane, can you kind of take us through the final offensive play? Nick kind of said Devontae, I guess, was 1A, Dallas was 1B. What was the original goal of the play?
Yeah, we were trying to get the ball to Dallas and Devontae, and they covered it up pretty good. And Jalen scrambled around and threw it to Jalen Reagor at the end of the game.
So Devontae wasn't open?
What's that? Yeah, he got undercut a little bit, and so he was looking for him, and then he scrambled around.
So he shouldn't make that throw.
What's that?
So he shouldn't make He shouldn't make that throw.
Well, he got a little pressure, so he had to move around a little bit.
But wasn't the pressure after he was initially open on the?
Yeah, he moved around. I mean, the guy was kind of underneath it. It would have been a heck of a football throw if he made it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick said Jalen Hurts is sore. As you put the game plan together, do you have to put a plan together for Gardner as well?
Yeah, that's stuff that we talk about. I mean, obviously, we're going through that process right now with Jalen, and we're working through that right now.
How much different would the offense look with the different quarterback because of how unique Jalen is?
You know what? We're going to run what we run, and I think we got to continue to do that. We've been pretty efficient running the football, and obviously we got to get our pass game to where we want it to be, and that's the bottom line.
What have the conversations with Gardner been like so far this week?
He's in here today, so we'll talk to him today. But really, Jalen, like you said, we're getting ready for Jalen, and we'll go from there.
If Jalen's out there with an injured ankle, does that limit some of what he can do well?
Yeah, I mean he's an explosive runner. Obviously, he runs the football really well, so we got to work through those things.
How much of a blow is losing Jack, and what have you seen from Nate? Obviously, center isn't, I guess, the position he's gotten the most reps at.
Yeah.
But at guard, I mean, what can he do?
Yeah, no, losing Jack. Jack's played really good football, but Nate Herbeck, he's been here for a while, and he's stepped in. He's played the center position. He's played the guard position, and he prepares every week. You see him in the meetings asking really good questions, and he's tough. He played a good game. Obviously, had those holding calls, but he came in and stepped in well at the center position when Kelsey went out, and we got to go from there.
Shane, when it comes to the passing game specifically, are you able to identify why it's not up to expectation?
Yeah, I think we look through those things every week, and obviously we got to do a better job. I got to do a better job as offensive coordinator, putting our guys in position to make those plays and getting them in positions. But we got to look through those things and see what they're playing defensively to put our guys in those positions and make plays.
So I guess when you looked at it, what did you see?
What's that?
When you looked at it, what did you see? You said you have to look at it. I imagine.
Yeah, no, obviously we got to do a better job of putting our guys in position to make plays, and obviously this week will be different, right? It's a different coverage scheme, so we got to do a good job of getting completions and getting the ball out of our hands.
When Kelsey leaves a game, because he's, obviously he's the type of player he is, when he leaves in game, does that shift things dramatically for you guys because he does so much protection-wise and all that?
Yeah, he does, but Nate Herbeck, like I said, he prepares like crazy every week, and so he does a good job of seeing it and communicating it as well. And, I mean, that trickles down. When Kelsey's in those meetings, everyone's hearing the same thing. So when Nate steps in, he did a heck of a job.
We saw Kenny get involved in the pass game kind of late.
Yeah.
Is there an opportunity to maybe find a role for him before that moment?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I say this every week, we're trying to get everyone the football, and that was one of those drives at the end of the game. They were giving us the flat route, and we kept taking it for completions.
What does the Jets defense do well?
You know what? They play their coverage scheme and their front really well. Obviously up front they got Mosley in there and then Quentin Williams. Those two players are really good players. Obviously Mosley is a veteran guy. He gets them all lined up, gets them wired, and then Williams inside is a load. I mean, he can rush the passer. He's really good in the run game. And so, again, anytime you play any type of defense, any team in the NFL, it's going to be a battle because everyone's good. So we got to be ready to go.
Practices with them earlier in the year. How different does this Jets defense look now as opposed to the one that you saw when you first practiced?
From a scheme standpoint, they still run the same scheme. There hasn't been much change there from a scheme standpoint, but again, they're getting better every week. Just with anything, as you keep preparing and getting better, and you get to work together, new staff, new players, new coaches, all that stuff, you continue to grow as a group, and that's what they've done.
Jalen's decision making was questionable, obviously, on several plays. Is this something that you have seen before, or do you feel like this is an anomaly?
No, I mean, with anything, I mean, he's been playing really good football. Obviously, last week wasn't his best, and he knows that, and we got to do a better job as coaches helping him there. And so we get those corrections made yesterday, and then we go from there, and we get it corrected this week going forward.
What do you see from him after a game like that?
What's that?
What do you see from him after a performance like that?
Yeah, he's frustrated, just like we're all frustrated. Anytime you lose, right, and you turn the ball over like we did, right, it's going to be frustrating. But we got to get those things corrected and move on. That's all we can do right now, right? The thing is get them corrected and move on and get on to the Jets. That's it.
How do you handle
coordinate teaching points?
Shane, if there's one kind of underlying theme.
Well, there's a few things. I mean, obviously, at the end of half, right, you got to throw that ball away, and he knows that going forward. Like, hey, we can't make that, decision there at the end, and we got to throw that thing away, and you learn from those. Obviously, it's like, again, with a young player, right, you make some mistakes. You got to learn from those things. Not everything's going to be perfect. Not every call's going to be perfect. You got to learn from those things.
Your play action percentage was down on early downs this
Uh-huh.
game. Why was that?
Well, I thought we were running the ball pretty good. I mean, we went for over 200 yards running the football. So we were running the football. Obviously, we had a couple play actions there that we didn't hit, but we got to keep working through that.
Jalen Rager obviously had some opportunities late. Nobody would have liked the plays more than him. How do you
Right.
handle that when a player is in a position to do something well, doesn't accomplish it? How do you kind of
Right, with
keep
those
him on
things,
the right path?
the thing is, he works his butt off, right? Jalen works his butt off week in and week out. And like you said, no one wants to catch those footballs more than he does. But you got to love those guys up and keep going because that's the only way you can do, right? Is working and can keep prepping and the practice and all that thing and keep grinding through those things. And then you overcome those things, you keep working through it, and then you hit some big ones, and your confidence grows.
Jalen has said before when he's making decisions that no one sees what I see. How do you guys put yourself in position to see what he sees and why he makes a certain decisions? And how do you take that into account while also pointing out when you think that he didn't make the proper read?
Right. Well, I think obviously throughout the week you go through the preparation part. Like I say, you're in meetings saying, hey, if they play this, we're thinking this. This is where the read starts. All that type of things. But obviously things change throughout the game, right? They might give you a different look. So he might say, hey, I saw this guy doing this, so I was thinking this, and that happens in football. I've been around a lot of quarterbacks that see things differently. When you're out there, obviously things change on the move, and you got to trust what you see.
What happened on the first interception? What, like, to you, from your vantage point, it looked like, excuse me, Quest kind of slowed down.
Well, yeah, I mean, he was running an in cut, and I thought it was a good read by Jalen. You could see he got hooked a little bit, right? And I thought the ball was good, and he got hooked a little bit right there as he was coming in, and the guy kind of got in front of it and caught it, and that was it.